welcome back once again to another tutorial. As I told you, I want to show you on how to make the sleeve of the blouse I'm making. I have showed you on how to make the top, the peplum, and now is the sleeve. So what I'm going to do for the sleeve, so you can see how it looks on the thumbnail there. It is a ball sleeve, and for this sleeve there's something you need to take note of. The sleeve, the ball sleeve started from this part. I was supposed to put something inside if it were to be starting from this part here, but this one now, if you take a close look at the sleeve, it started here, and if you put something there, it will be difficult to what I'm saying there, because you need to take a close look on what you are making. To what I'm saying, if I start it from here and I put a sleeve inside and attach my ball, I'm thinking of here will be difficult, or it will disturb my client. So what I'm going to do now, I'm not going to put anything inside as a sleeve guide. I'm going to create my ball sleeve like that, and there's nothing inside as a sleeve guide, and extend it. So how to get my ball sleeve? It will be on a semi-flare. It is not full circle flare. I'm going to make it a semi-flare. So what I do now is my fabric, which I have here. So what I have here is more than 1 yard. It was not calculated, but more than 1 yard. So you should use at least 1.5 yard for both sleeves. If you want yours bigger, you can use 1 yard each. But what I'm doing now, if you use 1 yard each, it will still give you the same result because of the extension of this. If you are using a material that is longer than this, you can extend the full length of your board. So for this now, I want to use this. So what is simple is to fold it in a triangular shape. After I fold it close like this, I might fold it in a triangular shape, so you can see. So this is the shape to get my flare. So what I'm going to do now for this, and I just discovered, because before coming here now, I went on to check on how I'm going to place it, so that I will make it easier for you. And if I want to take it like this, okay, so if I want to take it like this, the ball will not be full because of the length, and I still need to have a little planting at the upper part of my board. So what I did was to take, let me bring my gloves for you. So this is my sleeve that I have here now. So what I'm going to do, sorry, this is my armhole for my top that I have here. So what I'm going to do now is to take the measurement from this part to this end. So I will take my measurement from this part down to this end, then divide it by 2. So let me see what I have here. What I have here, I have, when I took it class, I have about 10 inches. Okay, so I have 10 here. So what I'm going to do, 10 times 2 will give me 20, but I still need extra allowance. I still need extra allowance for my plating. So after, when I decide to do that, let me keep this aside. So when I located my 10 here, because this is 2 sleeve that I'm about to cut, this is 2 sleeve. When I place it on full like this, I'm going to slit this part, or you can as well take it this way, but because of what I told you I want to get, you can as well take it this way if your sleeve length will be enough. So when you cut out, it will be open for 2, but I want to take it this way because I'm still going to slit this open because of the way I want to fold this. I'm coming to that. So if I take 10 here now, if I want to take 10 here, but I still need to have a plating allowance. So if I decide to still bring it down to get my plating allowance, my peplum, my flare will not be enough to give me the gather as what I want. So for me now to get what I want, I need to shift my flare this way. You can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm extending the length of my flare so that I will be able to get my gathers at this top and still get what I want at this down part. So you can see what I'm doing here. So it was triangular shape, so you can see me shifting it like this. So this part now is creating room for me to get the ball sleeve, for me to get my pleating as the sleeve there. So if you turn your fabric, let me do it like this now. So if you turn your fabric over like this, this is what you will see. Because it was like this, a triangular shape, but because of what I'm looking for, I want it to be fuller. So you can see what I bent just like this. So let me just see if this might help if you want to cut yours like this, to see what you're supposed to have after this. So what you're supposed to have here is 7.5. That is what is here now. In case you want yours to be fuller as this, you can just, from this rectangular shape, you get 7.5 then you take your full length. So once I am done doing that, let me use this side that is very obvious. Let me use this side to get my measurement. So what I'm going to do now is to get my full length plus my sewing allowance which I want. So you can see what I have here now. It was 10, my round circumference for both sides is 20. So I need to put my sewing allowance, which is my plating part that I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make it, okay, let me determine this by the length of my flare. So the length which I want to make use of is 14 plus sewing allowance. So this is how I want to calculate my, okay, so from 14 to this end here part, from 14 which I have to this end now, I have 16. So my 16 I connect like this. I'm trying to show you, give you a clue on the life process on how to calculate your flare, because you don't just go and start cutting them before you start calculating. You calculate like this to get what you want before you start cutting. So this is our calculation process now. So what do I have here? I have 15, and this 15 now will be mush. So this 15 now will be mush for my planting. So what I'm going to do now, I'm still going to extend the length of my flare by 1 inch. So I included, okay, 1.5 inch, that's what I have here. So let me take my 1.5 inch all through like this. This is a calculative section. So what do I have here? I have 14, yes, I have 14 here now. So this 14 will be enough. 14 will be enough. So then I come over to my flare now. Come over to my flare. So what do I want here? Here is 15. I mark out like this. 15. Let me just check this on that part. So this is how to go about it. 15. I hope I'm making sense here. I hope you understand what I'm doing here. 15. It's like I'm still going to adjust, but let me be through with this first. 15. So you can see our flare is still out, and it is bigger than the former. So what I'm going to do now is to cut this out. So let me go ahead to cut it out for you to see. Okay, so I have gotten my sleeve just like this. So let me cross check on this down part or this other part here. So what I'm saying now, I want to reduce this a bit because this other part has not getting the shape of my flare. So I'm going to reduce it from here. So this is what I have here now. So what I'm going to do now, I want to slit. Remember, if you want to slit from this part that is open. That is where I'm going to slit from. So I have my two sleeves now. So this one will be for one part and this is for the other part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a gather stitch at the bottom part here. Now I'm going to draw a gather stitch that will fit on this part of my sleeve here. Gather stitch that will fit on this part of my sleeve, because I'm still going to cut an extension to complete my sleeve. So what will sit at this part, that's what I'm going to gather to. And at this other part also, I'm going to gather it. I'm going to draw a gather stitch. So let me go ahead to draw those gather stitches on both sleeves, then I'll come back to show you on what to do next. Okay, so you can see what I have here now. I have gone to ahead to gather it and this upper part also. So you can see my planting is not much here. If you want yours fuller, you can go ahead to do it fuller as you wish, but like this is okay by me. So what I'm going to do next is to cut the down part of my sleeve, and the extension which I have for my down part is 7 inches, but I'm going to make it 8 inches or 7.5 inches. I'm going to make it 7.5 because there is a way I want to cut it, and 7.5 will be okay because I'm not going to sew from it down. So here is my fabric. Here is it. Let me locate the wrong side. Okay, so here is the wrong side of my fabric. Here is the wrong side of my fabric. I'm going to fold like this. So pay close attention. I'm going to fold like this to get 7.5. I'm going to fold like this. Then I'll go ahead to iron it straight, because you need this to be straight so it comes out sweet like ice cream. So after I have gone ahead to do that, my round sleeve for the upper part is 13. My round sleeve for here is 13, and here is 9.5. So what I'm going to do, 13 divided by 2 will give me 6.5. So I'll go ahead to get my 7.5 here, which is 7.5. 7.5 there. And here also 7.5. Then I'm going to get 6.5. So here is my 6.5, which is 13 for the upper part plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. 1 inch for sewing allowance. Then at this down part, I'm going to get my 9. So 4.5, 9 divided by 2 give me 4.5. Plus 1 inch for sewing allowance. So I'm going to connect it together. So I'm going to join it together just like this. See, connect it together. I told you my full length is 7. I included half inch to make it 7.5. Because I'm not going to fold this down part. So I'll go ahead to use this to cut the other part of my sleeve. So let me go ahead to do that. Okay, so I have it cut out like this. So what I'm going to do now, this is my down side, which is the side that is well open. That will be at your down part. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this to my machine. Then I'm going to sew it like this. I'm going to sew it together. Remember, I folded my fabric like this, so I did not add sewing allowance at this down part because I'm not going to do any work at this part. So I only added half inch for sewing allowance because I'm going to join it with this. So I will go ahead now to sew it together. I will do the same for the other sleeve. I'm using this to illustrate for you to understand. So let me go ahead to do that. Okay, so I have gone ahead to sew it. So this is the result of what we got. So what I'm going to do now, I will make sure this other part matches our armhole which I'm working with. I make sure it matches our armhole. Then I'm going to sew my 1 inch from here down. Then from here I'm going to reduce it by half. Once I sew my 1 inch to this extent here, I'm going to reduce it by half, then sew down to this part here. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me go ahead to do that. So I have gone ahead to sew it, as you can see, sew it close so you can see what it looks like. So it is time to fix it on our blouse. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take from this my joining part, which is the under part of my armhole. I'm going to start sewing from here. So I'm going to start sewing from here. Then when I get here, I start pleating. If yours is fuller, you can as well pleat at this side till the end if it is fuller than this. But for this, the pleating is not full, so I'm going to put the pleating at this upper part here. So that is what I'm going to do. So let me go ahead to fix it from this side. Go ahead to sew it from this side up to that level, then come and show you the result. So as you can see, I am done with the joining of my sleeve. As I told you, I started from this under part and I sewed to this end here, and I went ahead to sew from here again to this end. So from here now I started pleating it, so you can see what I have here. So that was how it formed this. So I am also done the other part, so you can see how our sleeves look like. Very pretty, so you can see how it looks like. So let me go ahead to pipe here. No, you are not going to keep here rough. So if it is interlocking, go ahead to interlock it with your interlocking machine, or you weave it, whichever way you may know. And this other part also, make sure you don't keep any place to be rough. Make sure it is neat. So I will go ahead to pipe it and I'll put it on the mannequin for you to see the finished result. I want to say thank you for coming, thank you for staying tuned till this length. I want to say thank you for your support, thank you for your comments, thank you for your like, your share, thank you for subscribing. In case you have not subscribed, please go ahead to subscribe to the channel. That helps us to grow. So thank you as always, stay safe and remain blessed.